Okay, afternoon, everyone. Last presentation, right? All right, my name is Stephen Lee. I'm from a company in Florida called Architects, and I'm the program manager for CaribNOG, the Caribbean Network Operators Group, which you all would know what that is about, since we are here. Can I see, by show of hands, anyone who's been to the Caribbean recently or is working with anyone in the Caribbean? A few, okay. So part of my goal here is to give everyone reasons to come to the Caribbean really soon. So let me talk a little bit about CaribNOG. It's a not-for-profit organization, community that's dedicated to basically building technical capacity in the Caribbean region, much like NANOG is doing. Here we go. Right. CaribNOG serves 17 nations in the Caribbean region. Most of them are island states, but also we have a few in Central and the Central and South American continent, mostly English speaking. So that's about a market of, so the members of CaribNOG are mostly in English speaking, but CaribNOG's concern is the region as a whole. And so the region is served by both ARIN and LACNIC. So we have a nice collaboration going on there inside of the region. Not everyone would be aligned to CaribNOG. A country like Puerto Rico would be more aligned to NANOG. The DOMREP and some of the Spanish-speaking countries would be aligned to LACNOG, and that's where the primary resource comes from. CaribNOG was started in 2007, actually out of some initiatives of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union and Packet Clearinghouse. Actually, one of the initiations for it was my first NANOG meeting. I think it was October 2007, NANOG 41 in Albuquerque. I was at that meeting, Bevel Wooden, who some of you would know, also CaribNOG co-founder. We sat in that meeting and we were hearing about router leaks and BGP flags and so on. And it was like, the geek in mind blown. And one of the things that we realized is that we have operators in the Caribbean, but this kind of discourse isn't taking place in the region. And so we started to work together with the CTU, with Packet Clearinghouse, started a long track from 2007, and in 2020, we actually had our first meeting. Since then, we've had 17 regional meetings. CaribNOG meets twice a year. And on average, we have around 50 persons, 50 to 100 persons would be in a meeting. And we'll be covering a lot of the topics you see here, routing, V6, cloud computing and hosting, internet exchange points, which are a huge part of the infrastructure development that we're concerned about, networking and resilience. The meetings move between Caribbean countries. And so we would have a meeting in the spring, meeting in the fall, and we'd move between different countries, which we see here. Our real concern and core thing that we're interested in is networking our people, our operators, our IT providers, students, regulators, government. Our CaribNOG meetings are really vibrant get-togethers of persons who are interested in this subject matter. We have ICT forums and committees and so on, but the kind of flavor that you'd have in a NANOG meeting or an ARIN meeting, in which you kind of have a community-wide discussion and discourse on pertinent topics, that didn't quite exist, and CaribNOG has given a forum for that. With the support of the organizations. Work very closely, as I mentioned, with ARIN, with LACNIC, with the Internet Society, with ICANN, and with Packet Clearinghouse. And since 2007, we've basically been building on strengthening the infrastructure in the region. So what do we have? In the region, we have at the high end, lots of fiber connectivity. There's lots of fiber connecting the islands. And have a few major data centers, especially in the major population areas, Jamaica and Trinidad. And so, broadband penetration, mobile penetration, those would be things that our operators and IT persons are working towards. So we have that. And then at the other end, we have satellite in remote areas. And this would be a picture of the Grenada Internet Exchange Point getting spun up, right? Just a few devices in Iraq at the starting point. A few of you might actually recognize Johnny Martin inside of that photo. Johnny spent a lot of time with us helping to get a lot of this stuff off the ground. And so we have the full range of concerns inside of the community and what we're working towards. So just to give a sense of what we have on the schedule for this year, and this is my pitch for Come to the Caribbean. We in addition to the CaribNOG main meetings themselves, we have a number of smaller meetings and interventions targeted at specific topics. One that you might be particularly interested in is the CaribNOG 17 meeting in Barbados in April. It's on the 10th of April, right after the Iron meeting. So if you come for Iron, you could stay over for CaribNOG if you're so inclined. And also we have a routing workshop, a resilience workshop planned in Dominica. CARPIF, or Caribbean Peering and Interconnection Forum, in Grenada this year. It's an annual meeting supported by CaribNOG, and it's basically the peering forum in which we get our operators and content providers connected up. This would be the fourth year of existence, and it's really caused a leap forward in the performance of the networks, the options available as caches have come into the region through forums like this. And then targeting our schools and our students, we have a next-gen boot camp coming up in August, and an emerging networks workshop for community network operators and those really small ISPs who want to get off the ground. So that's just to give you a snapshot of what we have going on in CaribNOG, and I really do encourage you. We have a lot of support already from members of NANOG. There are a number of persons inside of this community who not just come out to meetings, but actually lend assistance. In the 2017 hurricane season, a lot of NANOG members actually helped in the background in terms of the resilience discussions and the rebuilding work that was going on. So we're looking right now to even strengthen our relationship with NANOG as CaribNOG grows into the next phase of its journey. So hope to see you in Barbados, and you can get more information at CaribNOG.org and follow Twitter and Facebook. Right? Any questions? All right. Thank you.